In the last video, we discovered why concepts like just don't think about it and white knuckling actually make the pattern stronger. So now the question that quietly haunts most people is this: why does every single solution they're telling you to use keep falling apart, even when you're dead serious, even when you swear this time is different, even when you've tried harder than you've ever tried anything in your life? You've been fighting a battle inside your mind that was already decided. And today we're going to show you how to stop pulling the weeds and instead put your attention where the seeds are actually at. I told you that today we would talk about where these seeds are germinating. Let me show you something most people never understand. Psychologist Jonathan Haidt gave us the perfect picture of it. You are the rider sitting on top of a 6-ton elephant. The rider can steer for a few moments with willpower, but the elephant has all the power. There are two systems running inside of your head right now. The conscious mind, the rider, the part that sets goals, makes promises, and says, I'm done with this. That's the part you identify with. Then there's the subconscious, the elephant, the massive 6-ton, powerful automatic part that runs roughly 95% of your thoughts, feelings, and actions on autopilot. It doesn't ask what you want to become in 10 years or what you want to feel in 20 years. The elephant remembers everything, and the elephant only cares about solving the current emotional state as fast as possible using whatever pattern and tools it has already learned. So without you even having a conscious thought, when you're uncomfortable, it scans and asks, what have we done before that made this feeling go away? And whatever you repeated in moments of stress or loneliness or fatigue, anger, anytime you were uncomfortable, that's what happens automatically, instantly, without you even having to think about it. And now let's layer on what pornography actually does inside the brain. It doesn't just give pleasure, it actually hijacks the reward system with what we call super normal stimuli. Nobel Prize-winning biologist Nicholas Tinbergen discovered that animals will abandon their natural instincts for artificial versions that exaggerate the right triggers. Birds ignore their own eggs to sit on fake eggs that are bigger and brighter. Butterflies chase painted models instead of real mates. Porn is the human version of all of that. Unlimited novelty, escalating intensity, perfect bodies, instant variety. It delivers a dopamine blast and an entirely different formula of hormones and neurotransmitters than real life intimacy ever could for you. Which means if you are in a committed sexual relationship, but you keep choosing porn, your brain isn't choosing between two equal options. It's been trained for a long time toward the one that gives the easiest reward with a yield that's instant and big and predictable and controllable. It's essentially a drug to the body. So over months and years, the elephant learns an ironclad equation. If there's stress, porn helps. Loneliness, porn helps. Boredom or fatigue or anger or any other emotion you don't want to feel, well, you get the picture. And once that equation is burned in deep inside of that elephant, it doesn't forget, it just waits, ready to offer the pattern before your rider even has a moment to pull the reins. And then we add in the final piece from video 1 from yesterday. Remember the white bear? The harder people try to suppress the thought, the more it returns. So now imagine that same loop on top of an elephant that's already wired to reach for pornography as relief. So the rider, you might say, push it away, but the elephant is going to be stronger. And you might fight harder, but the elephant is going to say, I need this more than you do. And the very act of resisting actually trains the elephant that this pattern is important. This isn't about your character. It's about how your brain has been trained to respond. And you need to know that you're not weak. If you've been thinking that, you've been buying into a lie. So let's set the record straight. This is just about your brain being caught in a loop it was actually designed to protect. I was talking with a client just this morning who told me a story I feel like I have heard hundreds of times. He didn't feel like he was choosing porn anymore. He felt like he'd be doing so well. And then suddenly, when he was at his most vulnerable, it would just show up. When we slowed the moment down, the sequence became terrifyingly clear. He would be at work and suddenly start to feel stressed or uncomfortable, and then the elephant would sort of just offer up a pattern without him even recognizing what was going on. He would panic, he would fight harder, the craving would explode, either there at work or soon after getting home. And his conscious mind was screaming that he didn't want it, but his elephant that had been quietly trained for years and knew that that was the way to survive the feeling kept pulling harder. The future he was living wasn't the one he had intentionally chosen. It was the one his elephant had built for him, one quiet automatic response at a time. And this is why surface level solutions eventually collapse. Willpower cannot outrun an automatic trigger. Internet blockers can't block a subconscious association. And trying harder can't retrain a 6-ton elephant. Even sincere prayer, when it stays at the willpower level, can leave a deeper pattern untouched. Your subconscious isn't just storing habits, it's acting like a thermometer. And when stress or loneliness raise the heat, it automatically turns on the old porn pattern to bring the temperature back down. So you end up managing the problem instead of changing it, which means something most guys have actually never been told. You're not just dealing with a bad habit, you're living inside a future you never intentionally chose, a future your subconscious builds one automatic response at a time. But here's the shift that changes everything. If the elephant can learn a pattern this powerful, it can also unlearn one. Not through force, not through suppression. It changes when you finally start to work with the elephant at the exact level where the pattern was first formed to reteach it how to behave. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you exactly where that hidden leverage exists, the exact level where the pattern was first formed, and the mechanism your mind already uses to create and uncreate any habit or automatic pattern, the one almost no one is ever shown, and the one that will make final and real lasting change possible. If this made sense about why the problem feels bigger than you, then we're exactly where we need to be. I'll see you tomorrow in video 3.